So you've decided after watching part 1 that you're interested in the XC class. We'll take 3 of the top contenders in the class and compare them. Everyone wants to know about performance. Looking at the specs, I might expect the Iota to be slightly faster due to the higher wing loading, and the Chili 3 should have a better glide due to projected aspect ratio. But the Mentor 4 and Iota have thinner lines, so their glide might be just as good. Then there's the profile shape, toe in or toe out, line consumption, and even the stitching style and fabric billow that reduces the real area. You can do this kind of guesswork all day. There are too many factors that interact in the complex science of aerodynamics. But we can test them in the air, right? Unfortunately not. Here's the big problem. You're unlikely to fly far in still air, and in moving air, thermals make accurate results impossible. That was an IcePeak 623 versus an IcePeak 623. They're even the same color. Here's an IcePeak 6 versus Mistral 7 gliding close. It looks like the lower class wing has more performance. The longer the glide, the more averaging removes inequalities, but it's still possible to glide for 10 kilometers along a lifty line and make a worse glider appear to be the better one. I'm 97 kilos on the Iota, Carlo's flying 94.5 on the Mentor 4, and John is 109 on the Chili 3. John's on a larger size wing with higher efficiency. I'm in a sit-up and beg harness with more drag. Carlo has the lowest wing loading. Already we are not comparing apples with apples. We're also supported by a gas. It only needs to have a few swirls to disrupt the results. Nothing is measuring the unequal movements of the air mass we are gliding through. You're also only seeing the performance of one unit of a particular make and model, which doesn't allow for manufacturing variations. Speeding up 1 minute of gliding, we can see that the start and end positions are very similar between that Chili 3 and this Iota in that bit of air. No conclusions can be drawn, apart from the fact that there is very little difference between all current wings, even across classes. So why the big fuss about performance? Let's look at this another way. What kind of difference are we looking for? I'd be interested in a 0.3 difference in glide ratio, so one wing on 10 and the other on 10.3. But in reality this equates to 30 meters ahead or 3 meters height gain after 1 kilometer of undisturbed gliding. That's hard to see when you're constantly moving. For definitive data, you'd need at least 10 glides of longer distance. But unless the air is calm, you'll have too much interference to get repeatable results. When you introduce moving air, you cannot separate the disturbance from the performance. What you see is a single data point on a scatter graph of performance. Climb rate tests are even more questionable. Minor changes in turn rate and style result in different climb rates. The lift distribution is unequal in most thermals, and nothing is measuring the climb rate of the air the wing is being subjected to. The highest agility turn often wins the day, not the best climb rate, and this depends on pilot intervention. The wings themselves are so close you'll go blind trying to see the difference. On an XC flight, we mostly fly alone. We make thousands of choices and each diversion puts us on a different line. When we do pull up beside another pilot, we don't know the wing size, wing loading, how much speed bar is being used, or even how old the wing is. The pilot will be in a different harness and he'll do slightly different things to control his wing. We never get to verify our wing performance in a fair comparison. If you're not aiming for first place in international competitions, don't worry about the wing's performance. If you're on something current, it's about the same. Handling is much more interesting because it governs your ability to put the wing where you want it and to feel hints of where the best lift is. Stability should concern you too. because it builds your confidence and saves you from your mistakes. Luckily, these are things which good reviewers can identify fairly fast. At Flybubble, we test all of our demo wings to learn about their characters. The Iota is mostly about handling. The brakes feel medium and linear, but give a quick change of direction. The feedback from the wing is smoothened, giving you a feeling of being connected with the air. A small criticism we could make is that the Iota's back risers pull the tip cascade as well, which makes strong wind control tricky unless you reach into the sea lines. The Mentor 4 is all about a secure feel. The brakes are medium to heavy, they grab at the air, and the feedback from the wing is low and dampened. We think the Mentor 4 spins more easily than the Mentor 3, which was more ideal for the class. But out of the three, you'll be bounced around the least on the Mentor, if flying in rough air is your thing. The Chili 3 has a performance character. The brakes feel light and need a wrap because of long travel. The feedback from the wing is moderate, subtle and slightly disconnected, somewhere between the Iota and the Mentor. The Chili 3 can get too lively for pilots with slow reactions. It likes to pitch and needs active piloting because it is spicy. We could add much more. Little details add up to make a big difference to your progression. If the salesman focuses on the performance of the wing he's selling you and not on you, there's a good chance you'll be getting the wrong wing. The right wing depends so much on the pilot. We don't produce lists of best wings in each class because they don't exist until the pilot has been put into the equation. We need to speak to you so we can match the wing with your unique situation. Don't be misled by a video showing one data point on a scatter graph of performance. Talk to expert pilots with experience on the wings you're considering. There's more to wing comparisons than straight line gliding. There's more to becoming a top pilot than buying a wing. We hope this video has helped you understand wing comparisons. If you need good advice based on a broad range of brands, come on over to our website and see what we have to offer. We love matching pilots with the right gear.